I want to just tell you a little something, silver doctors. Stunning forecast issued by world's purest silver producer. Gold could go to 8,000, silver to 200. Now, before I start, now naturally, this is one of the good guys, if you will, of the silver industry, Keith Neumeyer, who is the owner of First Majestic. He also has a first mining finance company. They say which has also seen a 220% increase value this year. He's the one saying this. Now, I want you to think about something. How long ago did the Webbot say silver would be in the hundreds of dollars? It would ultimately be in the hundreds of dollars per ounce. I'm talking years ago, when the data first started showing some numbers for silver, like, oh my God, $600 an ounce is in there, hundreds of dollars an ounce is in there, and just rapid rising, panic to own, right? This data has been in there for years. So when I think about that, and then I read something like this in, August 2016, this guy wasn't saying this years and years and years ago, like the Webbot was. And as you've seen some of the videos I've done lately, how's that flooding treating you from the Webbot report? How's these rivers of water falling from the sky treating you from the Webbot reports? Spot on the money. But what I'm saying here is now it's starting to be talked about. These supposedly outrageous prices for precious metals are actually being openly discussed and talked about. And you have people like this, who's not just some guy like me, but sitting, in his house doing a YouTube video talking about it, thinking because I studied this for so long, it's just going to happen. No. And it's not just because I've studied this for so long. I study history and everything else. But I guess what I'm trying to say is a quote-unquote expert comes out and says it. Now there's some standing. When OJ Snip 4 talks about it, oh, it's just conspiracy. It's not going to happen. It's nonsense. Yada, yada. But when this guy says it, people start paying attention. To be honest with you, I don't care. I don't care if he says it, I said it, someone else said it. All I care about is I've been telling you for a long time about precious metals and why you should own them. This is just more proof as to why. I don't care if the day comes, hey, oh my God, it's $200 an ounce. You're going to see my ugly face staring at you through this camera, saying something along the lines of, guys, all you people watching this video, all you subscribers, whoever's watching this video right now, in the future, did I not tell you that the day would come, sooner or later, where outrageously high prices for precious metals are? I hope to God all of you have some precious metals in your possession as I do this video and the price is $200 today or whatever it's at. That video will be coming. Not a question of if, question of when. So as he says, in January, Keith Neumeyer, CEO of the world's top primary silver producer, boldly predicted that silver would rise to $20 by the end of the year. It's already there. Now who is also the chairman of gold-focused mineral bank First Mining Finance, again, which has seen a 220% increase this year, has another bold prediction. With his insider understanding of the resource market and close relationships with many in the industry, he says we should prepare ourselves for gold to rise to a possible high of 8,000 per ounce, which would mean at least $200 for silver, with the potential to go significantly higher. As stock markets around the world, and this is from Mark Slavo, part of the same article, stock markets around the world crashed in early January of this year amid panic selling. Investors seeking safety began allocating their portfolios towards precious metals assets, while prices in almost every other asset class dropped precipitously. Physical gold and silver, as well as the publicly traded companies that mine them, exploded to the upside. It was exactly the confirmation those on the sidelines had been looking for, as it proved that in the heat of crises and confusion, money would flow to historical safe haven assets of last resort. Again, gold and silver. At the time, Keith Neumeyer, CEO of the world's top primary silver producer, boldly predicted that silver would rise to $20 by the end of the year, which would mean a 40% rise at the time. Neumeyer's prediction came to pass in half that time, and along with it came a 600% increase in the price of shares for his company, First Majestic Silver, further confirming his assessment that investing in precious metals producers is a powerful way to leverage rising prices in the physical metals. Now, I already read that part. It's just reiterating it. He's again saying we could see $200 silver and 8,000 gold. Even Neumeyer himself notes in an interview with Future Money Trends that some who hear his latest forecast may consider it far-fetched. But make no mistake, the supply fundamentals, increased demand from the tech industry, and the generally panicked investment environment around the world suggest he is once again right on target. We're starting to see some new buyers come into this market. We're seeing some very, very high net worth people come into gold. Some huge institutions that didn't even touch the metal before are now advocating that you have to own gold. I listen daily now to people getting onto the gold story. I think that's going to change the demand dynamics of the metal going forward. We got down to a level of $1,050 in December of 2015. If we have the same type of move that we did before in 2011, from 250 to 1900, in other words, early 2000s, price was 250, like either maybe in 2000 or 2001, I believe, or maybe 2002, somewhere around there. Gold was 250. It rose to 1900 in 2011. That's what he's talking about. That's going to give us, in other words, we have a move like that now. That will give us $8,000 gold. What does that give you for silver? That's a couple $100 or even more. It's hard to imagine silver prices at those kinds of numbers, but it's not far-fetched to believe that can happen, simply because it already has. It was 250, it ran to 1900. So if it's at currently 1344 right now, or as he's suggesting, let's look back at the very low, 1,050 back in December, the all-time bottom low, and it were to make a move like that, there you go. And he continues on to say, we only have a couple companies on the planet that can call themselves true silver companies. And that tells me silver mines are way rarer than people actually think they are, and that's still not priced into the market. We're mining 9 to 1. So for every ounce of gold, we're mining 9 ounces of silver. And we're trading somewhere in the low 60 to 1 range. And that, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. I think we will see much, much lower ratios closer to the ratio where we're currently mining. Now, that's also interesting that he should say such a thing now, because what has the Webbot been saying all these years that would be coming? These outlandish 60, 70, 80 to 1 ratios with silver to gold ratios would be coming down significantly. 50 to 1, 40 to 1, 30 to 1, 20 to 1, 16 to 1, 15 to 1, 10 to 1, it says, is even in the data. He says that numerous times in that report, Webbot report, we are seeing 10, the data suggesting 10 to 1. Can you imagine if gold is $8,000 and by chance the ratio is 10 to 1? 10 to 1? Do the math. Man, oh man, oh man. Would that not be a payday? Where a little bit of silver can buy you a lot of something. So it says, keeping in mind that Keith is the CEO of the world's largest leading primary silver producer, the fact that they are mining 9 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold, and with the current trading ratio of about 60 to 1, current prices are almost disconnected from reality. I thought I said almost. No. Current prices are completely disconnected from reality. In essence, What this ratio means is that at current prices, right now, today, either gold needs to drop $180 per ounce or silver needs to rise to about $140 an ounce. Given the state of the affairs globally, we can safely say that gold isn't going to drop that low, which leaves only one real possibility, and that is that silver will continue to rise in the coming months and years. So there's a little bit more to that article, but the point has been made. JSNIP4 has made his point, plain and simple. It's just, when I see this, again, it reconfirms. It's absolute confirmation to me that these crazy, outlandish webbot reports have something to them after all. For God's sakes, how many times have you seen a JSNIP4 video? Webbot hit, webbot hit, webbot hit, webbot hit. I will absolutely say, for God's sakes, why can't I come out here right now today and let the next major webbot hit be silver, precious metals, absolutely exploding higher in price? Man, why can't I come out here and do one of those videos? Because it hasn't happened yet. But like anything else in the webbot, when it's in the data going way far back, and then it keeps coming up, next report, another 2 or 3 reports, it's there again, up, still there, still there, still there. I don't know what effect you might call that. Maybe Cliff High has a name for that effect, the webbot effect or something, I don't know. It essentially states this: the longer something is in the data and keeps showing up, there's definitely going to be a long period of time before it happens, but when it happens, you better look out. So when I heard $300 silver, $600 silver webbot, 10 to 1, and he said even the data is shown, doesn't mean it'll be right. It's not always right. It just is right quite a bit. But it would even be at parity at some point with gold. Like maybe at the peak epidemic panic to own precious metals. I'm just guessing here. Maybe right at that moment in time when people are freaking out to get it, oh my God, gold is just as silver is just as valuable as gold. Again, you're talking sheeple herd mentality. What does the herd always do? The first one to run, he makes it out. The herd follows the leader. But in today's days, we have that same herd mentality. But when the leader takes off, the one who, hey guys, I just saw something, bad news, let's run. Picture me at the front of the line. Guys, let's go. Oh, yo, guys, it's happening now. Go, run, I'm running. Oh, we'll be there in a minute. Just gotta capture this Pokemon real quick on my phone. Oh, damn, I missed him. And then they finally figure it out. And then it's, oh my God, super panic. Because they don't think straight in a panic. Nobody does. So you can capitalize. Oh, I've been stashing my silver all this time. Sheeple are finally figuring out. Oh, look at this. All these Facebook people that told me to shut up. Look at them all commenting on Facebook. They lost their 401k. They should have invested in precious metal. Let me get on Facebook. Where did you hear that? Let me get on Facebook. Where did you hear that? I used to talk about this stuff. You guys told me to be quiet. Now you guys are talking about, what the good news will be, though? There is some good news. The good news is that they're actually talking about it, which means they've had an awakening, which means they're waking up from their slumber. Albeit slowly, they're still waking up. I mentioned before, when I first started finding out about the 9/11 stuff, and at the point where I was finally convinced, because it took me a while to buy into, this conspiracy. This is crazy, it's absurd. But then when you see the evidence and the eyewitnesses, and I was in charge of security, and this is what I saw, and this was what happened, and I'm in charge of, the maintenance of World Trade Center 7 building, and I showed up and nobody was there, and they, all these people's interview. Do you realize, oh my God, this is really, this is what happened. Oh my God, which means this is a huge conspiracy, and it's not looking good for the official story. And I'd go look at these videos, and people would comment, and he'd be outnumbered 10 to 1. 10 people calling you a moron, conspiracy idiot, get out of the country, you don't belong here, you're not patriot, And I said, I'd go back just a few years later. Oh, I remember that video. Yeah, I remember watching that one. Remember Loose Change or Loose Change, second edition, or then Loose Change Final Cut, or numerous other ones, honestly. And then I saw the opposite occur. The people who are woken or awake are outnumbering the sheeple 10 to 1 at least, you know. Now you don't hardly get anyone even trying to fight for it because everyone knows it's okay. It's real. The conspiracy is real. We can't fight it anymore. And now you go there and there's tons of people who are woken up. So again, it's all about the truth. The truth shall set you free, right? The truth also follows 3 phases. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. And third, it becomes common knowledge. It's exactly what happens. Take care.